Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds. Today we're dealing with the 2022 Ford Supervan 4. Now this has 1,878 horsepower, 1,179 pounds-feet of torque, from a 50 kilowatt hour series of batteries which power 4 electric motors, one for each wheel, and the vehicle itself weighs 4,346 pounds. Also now has off-road tyres to go along with its all-wheel drive system, as well as off-road suspension, and it can do 0 to 60 in 2.568 seconds, 0 to 100 in 3.941 seconds, and going to a top speed of 231 miles an hour. So yeah, this is the first all-electric van that we've actually had on this game. Although obviously it's a heavily modified one, it's certainly not one you're going to be using on a day-to-day basis. The fastest Ford that we've had though has been the XB Falcon GT, which is currently sat in 19th place with a time of 3 minutes 13.961. So yeah, we'll be looking to beat that, but it would be really rather quite incredible if this much taller and quite heavy van can beat the other kind of EVs that we've had out on this series. One thing to bear in mind with this: the ride height is much higher than it was originally. It's nearly 3 inches taller over what it was in standard form, and obviously being a van, it is still quite a tall vehicle anyway, even with all of the modifications it's had. So if it falls over or gets onto two wheels, I would not be surprised. But yeah, being a EV, we're obviously going to have a lot of power quite instantaneously. But unlike a lot of EVs that we have on this game, this actually has 2 gears. And that second gear is basically like afterburner because it just absolutely flies off. So yeah, as you can see, still capable of getting up to really well good speeds even just in first gear. Now upgrades wise, tyres are wider, but they are now off-road tyres, so they are offering not perhaps as much grip as they were originally, but the brakes are better, and it should be slightly lighter than what it was originally as well. Yeah, it's by no means a lightweight, regardless of what upgrades it's been given. Then again, it doesn't really need to be. It could weigh another £1,000 and it'd still be incredibly quick. So at the end of the day, you've got nearly 1,900 horsepower, and that is a lot of power to try and rein in with any kind of weight, really. Especially when it's electric and you've got that power all of the time. I'm surprised I've been able to get as much power as they have out of such a small battery pack, because we've seen much larger battery packs that don't generate anywhere near this amount of power. And we've had to use 2 of our rewinds there because we really missed the checkpoint, so we've only got 1 left. Hopefully we will not need it. Now, I was going to do a review of this car because it is part of a new car pack, but in all honesty, there wasn't a huge amount to actually say about the vehicle. But if you do want a review of it, then do leave a comment and I will do so. I'm sure I can find something to say if somebody wants to see it. But I decided it would be really rather quite interesting to see what it can do on this series. Given electric cars have been reasonably successful on this series so far. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be quite the same though, because we are not the most easy to control. So yeah, we don't really have any rewinds left now. Gonna have to be a little bit on the careful side of things. It's hard to do so when you only have to give it a couple of seconds and you're well up to 100 miles an hour, and then only a couple of seconds more than that and then you're nudging 200. controllability has really stunted the amount of horsepower and torque this has. As we are not going to be the fastest Ford that we've had on this series so far by a good 10 seconds or so. At 3 minutes 23.281 seconds. So not quite 10 seconds behind the XB Falcon GT, but not far off. And considering the amount of power and torque this has, I was expecting a lot better, but it just did not have the grip to deal with all of that power, which, as I've said, with it being an electric car, is really rather quite instantaneous. But still, 23.281 puts us just behind a Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6, a Mitsubishi Galant VR4 and a Jimco Hammerhead Class 1. We are ahead though of a Nissan Sentra Nismo, Aston Martin DBX, a Toyota Hilux AT38, another electric car in the form of the Ital Design Da Vinci Concept, as well as the Honda Ridgeline, Hoonigan Volkswagen Baja Beetle, Fast and Furious Flip Car, MG MG3 and a Chevrolet K10 Custom. Where are we in comparison to the Volkswagen that we had in the previous episode? We're actually slower than the Volkswagen double cab pickup, which I guess kind of sums up just how much of the power in this car was actually being wasted on the fact it just could not put it down. It was, yeah, it was sliding in all around at times. The brakes weren't anywhere near as effective as they should have been, given that they were upgraded. And yeah, we just couldn't be as quick or use as much of the power as we would have liked. So yeah, an impressive car when it comes to the track, but not quite as impressive when it comes to off-roading, which I guess is no surprise because it is well and truly out of its comfort zone. Nonetheless though, thank you for watching. You can get this car via the Acceleration Car Pack, which includes 3 other cars, the McLaren Sabre, which you will see on this series in the future, as well as the Shelby GT500 and the Ginetta G10 RM. So yeah, get out there and get that car pack if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.